CJSW 90.9 FM is on the airwaves. The official kickoff was held in the Mac Hall Ballroom on Saturday, January 19th. The evening ceremonies were broadcast live and featured many toasts to the bride, Calgary's newest FM station, CJSW. MC Kevin Brooker hosted many distinguished guests, including CJSW station manager Grant Burns.
This place has been going for a long, long time, 27 years now. A lot of people put mega hours into trying to get CJSW on the straight and narrow road toward getting it on FM. When I joined the station in '79, there were people before me that had been working very hard to get the music policy together. Of course, in the late '70s, the applications and whatnot. Anyway, I'd just like to mention that, you know, thanks to everyone who's helped out over the years, it's been good, you know. The amount of support, the people just pouring in their hours and all their time, and it's a good thing.
The evening began with a multimedia presentation of CJSW's history narrated by Bob Haslam. The Calgary media and music industry was well represented. By evening's end, it became obvious that CJSW has contributed greatly to Calgary television and radio. One of CJSW's notable graduates in attendance was CFAC anchorwoman Deborah Lamb.
Welcome to Universitility, and as you can see, we have the beautiful Deborah Lamb, CFAC's anchorwoman.
Nice to be here.
Okay, Karen's going to start with one of our first questions.
Yeah, I'd like to know, how did you get involved with CJSW when you're going to, were you going to university here?
Yeah, I was going to university. I was in my first year, and there weren't any women in the station then at all.
I heard that tonight on the radio.
Yeah.
They're advertising, finally we've got it. Were you the first woman?
No, well, there were others, but actually I was one of the first to do on-air work on a regular basis, that's all. Yeah, before that they'd just sort of been involved in filing records and things like that. It was bizarre. I mean, it was 1972, and a friend just sort of dragged me in that was doing a show on a regular basis, and they seemed quite excited that I wanted to do something on the air, and actually I was petrified, of course.
Is that right?
Yeah, well, isn't everybody when they have to do their first?
How did your CJSW start, and I gather you graduated with a B.Ed. How did that lead into TV anchorwoman?
Well, it was different in those days because this was a smaller market, and there weren't, you know, again, a reminder, there weren't very many women in broadcasting then. In fact, there were virtually none in the early 70s. So at that time, you could get a job part-time working in radio just by working at CJSW. You could get a job as a DJ in radio, or nothing to do with TV, but radio anyway. So when I got out of school, I went to CBC, and they were trying to find a woman to work there for the summer. And because I had a very limited experience reading, that was just enough. So they hired me there. And then after CBC, I went to TV, and I worked behind the scenes.
Did you find it much of a difference going from radio into television?
Yeah, I didn't like television to begin with, I must admit, because I thought that it was a very cumbersome medium, you know. I mean, you must notice that too, going the transition from radio to TV, is that there's so much equipment involved in everything, and there's a lack of spontaneity, whereas radio is, you know, it's live and it's happening right now. So, and I love radio, you know, I just think it's a great medium.
Have you done any other radio other than CJSW?
CBC I did.
Oh, that was
on.
on.
And that's very immediate and very live. We did a live interview show. I worked in public affairs there, doing the afternoon show and the morning show.
What about your nursing?
I did, actually it was education.
Oh, BN? I thought, okay, B.Ed.
B.Ed.
Did you do any teaching at all?
No, I didn't actually. I just did student teaching, and then, as now, you know, there was a glut of B.Eds on the market. The year I graduated, I had a chance of about 1 in a million of getting a job. So I went for the other thing I could do, and that was media, radio.
Okay, throwing a wrench in. I gather you went to Crescent Heights High School?
Oh, wrong again.
Yes.
Who's your researcher
Well,
anyway?
just...
No, I'm just kidding. I went to James Fowler,
James
actually.
Fowler?
Yeah.
Didn't you have a teacher by the name of Jim Fabian for a while?
Yes, I did.
Comment on him?
Is this your father?
No.
Oh, okay. Jim Fabian, yes, he was my chemistry teacher, and I failed chemistry about, I don't know, let me think, how many years in a row. No, I managed to squeak by, but it's definitely not my forte, that's for sure.
Okay, it's just, he was a teacher and he used to refer to you, you know, look what happens to my students. Well, that's about all the time we have right now.
I didn't blow up in a chemistry
That
experiment.
is all the time we have. I think we're finished. Are we dead? No. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us, Deborah. It's been a pleasure on both our
I'm
parts.
really glad you made it out here tonight.
And I
Yeah.
hope you continued success.
Yeah, and I wish CJSW the best of luck. It really warms my heart to see it on the air. It's great.
Okay.
But the forte of CJSW radio is, of course, alternative music. After the formalities were over, entertainment was provided by one of Calgary's hot new bands, The Slip, and Vancouver's Grapes of Wrath. Universatility's cameras captured The Slip on stage, and after the performance, Kanan Hertz spoke to band members Pamela Betts and Peter Hamilton.
Was that